So all these principles and everything that we're talking about has been applied not only to my business and then formulated into steps that can be copied, but also taught to other dog trainers for a very, very long time and then fine-tuned from there. So this has been all stuff that's been proven overall that whole length of time for thousands of dog training businesses all over the world. So there is nothing that's different about you that's that different. So anything that you're thinking, oh, well, that's them because, or that won't work for me because, I'm a franchisee, or because of what my territory is like, or because of what people around here are like, none of that is true. This is all stuff that works everywhere for everyone. You just have to do it. And it's all stuff that makes sense. That if the advice that makes sense for health is to exercise and eat right, that the gimmick is like that thing that you sit on the couch and eat pizza and it works your ab muscles while you sit and watch TV. And that's like, it's kind of a stretch to believe that that's true, but that's the thing that people want, is the magic bullet they don't have to do anything for. But the thing that actually works is the thing that makes sense. And it does take a little bit of doing something and thought and learning and skill and things like that. But it is that just the thing that makes sense is usually the thing that you have to do. But then you just need to know what those skills are and how to do them. And that's what all of this is about. So all the things that I've accomplished, in the last 11 years, or that other trainers have accomplished because of the things that we've worked on. There's trainers who a lot of times are brand new to their business and they need to get where they want to go a lot faster and don't want to have to struggle and make a ton of mistakes right from the start. So if you're relatively new, a couple years or less, then, or even just brand new, then that might be you. Or again, you might be the ups and downs. Get a lot of struggling trainers who are just having inconsistent income, a lot of feast and famine. So let me know in the comments if that's you, if you're like just too much ups and downs, too much feast and famine. I've helped a lot of trainers who came to me already doing pretty well. Like Whitley, you said you were already, I think it was like around 260 or 300,000 a year or something when I first met you. And then you doubled it and then doubled again after I met you and after you changed some things. So I'll get your story in a few minutes, but actually, Whitley, I'm going to have you go ahead, since I'm talking about you. If you don't mind, go ahead and unmute yourself and say a couple things.
I've been following Molly since probably 2019. In 2021, I did her first workshop and I had been following her advice. It had some cool stuff, but I didn't see if I actually needed to pay her because she gave so much free content away. So I did this one-day workshop on creating programs. And even though we had good programs, I was like, well, maybe she'll have something good to give to kind of tweak our programs. And I had been scared of doing anything with Molly because we're a franchise and I didn't know how much corporate would let me change or tweak the system. And so within about 30 minutes of this workshop, I had 2 pages of notes and Molly kind of called me on screen and we started talking, and I told her that I only sold my platinum program to problem dogs or people who want a demo dog. And she was like, what do you mean you don't let people buy that program? And she's like, I was like, well, they don't need it. Why would I let them buy something they don't need? And she's like, people want to buy your biggest program and you're not letting them. And my jaw hit the floor, my brain exploded. I said, oh my God, what have I done? By doing that, she took my average income per client from around $1,500 to $1,700 to now we're at over $3,000 per client. And the reason that matters so much is now I can over deliver to all of those clients because they bought the premium service. I can be elite. I can do things that set us apart from other trainers because my clients are paying more for my service and I can take on less clients. So I don't have to burn out and service 50 clients a month. We average about 25 clients a month and we do pretty well on those 25 clients a month. And so don't be afraid to follow her advice. Don't be afraid to jump off the deep end and do something weird. It's worked out really well. Molly has continued to support me the whole way, and she revolutionized and changed the trajectory of my business and the trajectory of my life because I was still a one-man show when I did that first workshop. And so now I have 5 trainers and a full-time admin. Last year, I went to 4 different countries and sat around a campfire in Africa and made $25,000. There's not many people who get to say they can be on the opposite side of the world and their business still runs. And so between what corporate has provided as far as this really good system and implementing Molly's marketing tweaks and how we do our sales process, it's the perfect recipe to really explode our success. And I'm super excited to have Molly on the team with us and help bring this to everybody instead of you guys feeling like I'm a salesperson for Molly.
That's so awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Whitley. Yeah. In regard to doing things that seem weird at first, I was just listening to somebody they were doing their own challenge on Facebook. And he said something really funny. He said that if your coach tells you something that is comfortable and is exactly what you already knew and made sense to you already, that it's probably not the right way to go. Sometimes things have to be feel a little bit weird because if it made sense to you before, you would have been doing it already. But once you hear it, then it makes sense and you start doing it. Obviously it makes more sense. So it's really funny that you say that it might be things that are a little bit like not what you expected to do, or just out of what was previously your gut feeling on the way things should be done. So that's really funny. I love that. And you have done amazing. And that was super fun to have that conversation with you when I first met you too. So Steve and Val, I'll go ahead and let you guys unmute, because we're going to talk about sales process related things in a few minutes. But since I'm calling on you guys, I'll let you go ahead and say what you'd like to say too.
Okay, well, we were turned on to Molly through Whitley. She told us about her. We went down and spent a day or two with her, and she told us all about Molly. And so we went home and started investigating, and sure enough, we signed up. And that's when we changed. We talked at conference this year about how, just like Whitley just said and Molly says, we stopped making people's decision for them. We let them spend their money, and we just guide them where we want them to spend their money. Present the programs like the best program is what you need. It's what everybody gets. It's what all the cool kids get. And then make them tell us, no, I can only afford this. Well, okay, we're still getting some money, but our platinum to gold went from about 95% gold to 95% platinum, just completely reversed right after talking with Molly and getting on her program. So absolutely, this has changed our business too. It's allowed us to, put forth a growth plan, and we're moving forward with pretty good stuff.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's so cool. That's so good. And I haven't got to talk to you guys in ages, so I wasn't even sure. Like, Mark was the one that told me how great you're doing. And I was like, yeah, that's just so amazing. I'm so happy for you guys.